No one has made any AI-only videos of superstates since they added the Central American countries and Australia. No, New Zealand's still native, so I mean, I might as well do it. We've got Central American countries up until Costa Rica, and of course we have all eight. We have 8 countries in Australia, including the capital area. Most of my attention will be directed to these newly added countries in North America and Australia throughout this series, so pick one of the newly added countries and hope that they win. I personally am picking my home province of Nova Scotia over here, but they're probably going to die pretty fast, so my second pick's going to have to be Ontario, because I've lived there for 4 years. First war complete. We had Quebec annex Nunavut, and through this map mode we can see any land that they've recently taken. So they recently took all those provinces with blue stripes. They recently took all this from Nunavut. We got Texas pushing into New Mexico and Chihuahua. Gotta take both the Old Mexico and the New Mexico. Let's go Ontario, moving into Wisconsin. Or, no, Michigan. Wisconsin's taking advantage of the situation, though. The main problem with Nova Scotia is that they start out allied with New Brunswick, which is basically the only country they have to expand into. There's Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland and Labrador, but other than that, they can't really do anything. If they went through New Brunswick, then they could take, Maine and all this, maybe. We got California moving into Oregon now. BC and Washington better hurry up if they want to unite Cascade. Quebec took Labrador from Newfoundland and Labrador, but they couldn't take Newfoundland, and well, as a Nova Scotian, I know that those Newfoundland fishermen are built different, so they were very effective at stopping the Quebecois. Texas and Arkansas have split Oklahoma. Right, so for some reason, Belize doesn't start out as a country in this. They're just here as uninhabited, well, not uninhabited, but uncolonized land waiting for someone to colonize them. Arizona was split between New Mexico and California, and we also have the separatist state of Baja Arizona released. Yeah, that's what they're like, I suppose. Also, every country every new country in North America and Australia is a republic. And Washington took land from Idaho at some point. Montana sweeping in to take the rest of Idaho, and Ontario taking out Wisconsin. California moved into, well, they won against New Mexico and got New Mexico to release more land to Baja Arizona. Sinaloa came in and took Baja California Sur. Now they own both those lands. Texas finishing off New Mexico now. And California moved into Baja California. Nevada took the northern half of Utah and some of Idaho. And then Nevada was quickly split between California and, just California. Actually, yeah, and Colorado as well. Actually, no, Colorado got no land from that war. Those Newfie fishermen weren't enough to stop Quebec this time around, as Quebec has taken Newfoundland, but they left them with one province for some reason. South Carolina was split between Georgia and North Carolina. Texas, they cut a line through Arkansas, don't know why they did that. And Quebec, well, they took New Brunswick, so the days of an independent Nova Scotia are numbered. The era of European colonialism has begun. We got Portugal landing in Brazil. Wonder what that will mean for our North American countries. California has united, well, all of California. Then they helped Baja Arizona get some land from Sonora. In New York, they also took, Massachusetts at some point, and, well, Rhode Island, they lost to Connecticut. I'd imagine that was quite a while ago. I didn't notice. Texas won against Arkansas, but instead of annexing them, they released the nation of McDonald. Colorado really trying to maintain their square shape by moving into Kansas now. Texas moving into Louisiana now. Texas moving into Mexico once again, taking Nuevo Leon. There could have very well been wars in Mexico, but I don't really know I don't know much about Mexico's geography. Mexico's, state geography on the top of my head, so I can't really tell. Florida is the first American state to unlock colonialism, and, well, they have been colonizing Cuba and, the Bahamas. And when I say first U.S. state, what I mean is first country in North America. And, well, no one in Australia has discovered colonialism either. Florida taking Virginia, and Texas, Missouri, they took out the rest, what remained of New Orleans. New York took this single southern province out of New Jersey, and, well, New Jersey, they took, I forget, why do I forget? Oh, no, don't tell me. That's Delaware. Texas moving on into Colorado, or Pacifica moving on into Colorado, and, well, now they border Texas. Queensland, they took much of Western Australia and South Australia. Victoria taking advantage of the fall of South Australia as well. Pacifica has decided that they now identify as Las Californias, and Sonora has, well, they took all that land back from Baja Arizona, and well, they just annexed Baja Arizona. Iowa took that last remaining province of Michigan that Ontario decided not to annex. Minnesota, last province of Minnesota. Puerto Rico now colonizing, but instead of colonizing one of the islands directly next to them, they decided, nah, we're going for Panama. Well, the most expected formable nation is now formed, that of course being Carolina from North and South Carolina, and New Hampshire, well, they just finished off Maine. Virginia has been falling to the Carolinas, and it looks like Kentucky's been getting cut up by Tennessee and West Virginia. BC is falling. They lost most of their country to Alberta. They just came sweeping right on in, and then, well, Las Californias took some of the south. New York now colonizing. We got Inagua there, and Connecticut as well. And we got Florida over in Bermuda. Alaska took the north of Vancouver Island when British Columbia was falling. Yeah, and Alberta owns half of Saskatchewan. We got Quebec colonizing now. They're in Hispaniola. Nebraska, well, they're doing something, wasn't entirely paying attention to what was going on. New Hampshire annexed Vermont at some point. Victoria also taking some land from New South Wales. Florida taking land from the Carolinas, and they took one province from Mississippi. Ohio has expanded in various directions, and well, it looks like Kentucky took advantage of, well, something, because they've got some land back. Well, clearly West Virginia didn't exactly do so well. What is West Sylvania? Anyway, West Virginia, they're just gone now. Virginia lost some land to the Carolinas. Ontario took a province from Indiana. Illinois expanding in this direction must have taken advantage of the fall of Missouri. The Australian Capital Territory has expanded, taking some of the land from New South Wales. Alaska, Montana, and Las Californias have almost completely finished off BC. That was so embarrassing. We got Alaska and Las Californias splitting Vancouver Island, and well, BC, they're just chilling in Haida Gwaii for now. The first American-European wars have begun. We had Puerto Rico lose their Panama colony to Spain, and, well, Nicaragua, they've been losing to Spain. New York's been taking land in Hispaniola, and, well, Quebec, they took that Juventud. Texas finished off Nuevo Leon. Las Californias moving down into South America here. North Dakota moving into Saskatchewan, and Minnesota's been taking out Manitoba. Alaska has taken Yukon and Nunavut, which means that they have formed the Arctic Union, and they also own, well, they took some of the north of Minnesota. Of course, much of Nunavut is owned by Quebec at the moment. The fall of Texas has begun. Las Californias has taken a bunch of land, and, well, Florida at some point took more land in Louisiana. Oklahoma is independent again, and, well, it's like Tennessee took advantage too, or they declared war on Mississippi. I don't know, actually. North Dakota has been pushing up in Saskatchewan. Florida now arriving in South America. Texas trying to keep growing. They took up most of Mississippi. We got Durango taking out Coahuila, and Sinaloa taking more land up the coast. Yeah, finally some inter-Mexican wars. I don't think that has really happened at all yet. Intra-Mexican wars, or just Mexican wars. Another very predictable, formidable nation of Dakota has formed. Connecticut is in the Caribbean island. Connecticut, New York, Florida, New Hampshire have been colonizing the Netherlands. Colonizing Africa, West Africa specifically. Netherlands, they're not colonized, of course. They're still alive and well in Europe. Florida is actually all over Africa. They got some colonies over here too, and no, that's Spain. Never noticed that we have various modern-day Oceania countries in the Pacific as well. We got like the Marshall Islands. They've been here since the beginning of the game, of course. I just haven't noticed them. The Marshall Islands there. Who's it? Yeah, Hawaii. Okay. Hawaii must have extended, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. But yeah, we got the Marshall Islands down here. Got Samoa. Yeah. Well, Las California is in the Pacific. Wow. What is this? Anyone own this? Nope. Anyway, yeah, there are some island nations over here. Well, some island... Yeah, like, what's this? Oh, Arctic Union colonizing. That's interesting. Yeah, got various island nations. Zacatecas now moving up into Durango. We had Alabama takes some of the former New Orleans territory. Florida continuing to expand their land over here. Sinaloa continuing to expand up the coast. You got Chihuahua taking advantage of the fall of. This must have been. Come on, I know what. Sonora, yeah. Tasmania has been colonizing New Zealand. Spain was the first to make it to Belize, but Guatemala actually defeated Spain and managed to kick them out. Dakota just completely undid much of the Arctic Union's gains. I mean, well, now they're just Alaska again, and well, Yukon is back. Saskatchewan is Manitoba is just holding on for dear life over here. Ohio expanded a little bit in both directions. We can see that they've taken provinces from Illinois and maybe Pennsylvania. There goes Saskatchewan, finished off by Dakota. Right, so Carolina has completely fallen to Virginia and Tennessee and Texas? Florida is down in Chile now. Florida attacking the West African nations now. They just took out Noop. Got Oaxaca taking out Veracruz. They just took out province there. I'm pretty sure Tabasco's borders weren't that big before. No, they definitely weren't. They definitely took someone there eventually. I mean, Mexico's state borders are so messy anyway, so it's impossible for me. It's difficult for me to notice if anything really changes. I mean, yeah, I can't really tell. Florida's on the other side of Africa now. Las California is moving into Sinaloa now. New York has been moving into Pennsylvania. Florida has taken Comoros. Puerto Rico colonized a little bit of the, Caraco Islands, and we had Florida take the Cayman Islands. Honduras moving into Guatemala. Let's go, Quebec must die. New York took one province from Quebec because, both countries were secondary participants on opposite sides of a war. And the war was over Connecticut conquering this highlighted island, which at the time was owned by the independent nation of New Shoreham. And, Connecticut succeeded at that. They also conquered all of Rhode Island, probably a while ago. Honduras has annexed Costa Rica. They own El Salvador, too. Las Californias they took land from both the Arctic Union and Alberta, taking much of BC, including all of Vancouver Island. Well, that's the end of part 1. If you enjoyed that, then leave a comment saying how the country you're rooting for is doing, and then go watch part 2. It's on screen right now. Or if it's not released yet, then another video is on screen, and, you should go watch that.